All right, I think we're live. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Scrapbook Centrale. I am Angie Hunt, and I am so thrilled to be here today with LRDS Creative to take you through our newest collection and show you what we've got going on. So thank you so much to Natalie from Scrapbook Centrale for inviting us here today. I'd love for you guys, whoever's here, to give us a little hello. I can see comments as they come up. I'd love to know who's here and who's spending a little bit of time with us today. That would be a lot of fun. Something I do want to mention, let me see if I can get this right. I got to make sure I get it exactly right. There is a special that Scrapbook Centrale is offering today, and it is for 24 hours only, 10% off of all of the new products in this collection. That's going to be for 24 hours. So I know you guys know how to order from Natalie already. Know that you can order any of the products from Scrapbook Centrale that I'm going to be showing you today. And we're going to go ahead, I think. No, let's see. We've got people coming in. So Joanne is here. Hello, Joanne. Hello, Ann. Janet is here. Excuse me. Josie, Leander, Michelle, Pauline, Deidre is here. Who else is here? Elizabeth. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm seeing names popping in here all over the place. Oh, looks like Natalie's here too. Hi, Natalie. Welcome to Helen from Ontario. I love seeing where everybody is from as well. Oh, looks like Chantel is coming in. We're actually based in Michigan, for those of you that don't know us. And we're in the Eastern time zone, and we're kind of north in the United States, so it is chilly here too. Is the point I was going for there. Who else is coming in? Cindy is here. Danielle. Hello, everybody. Celine. Hi. Okay, so people are coming in. I want to let you know we've got, I think, 22 new items in this collection. We've got some really, really fun new what we call staples, things that we think are going to be fantastic staples, new staple things in your collection, things that you're going to be grabbing week after week, month after month, and year after year. They're never going to get old, and they're always going to give you like a beautiful foundation, if you will, to a lot of your cards and your scrapbooks, whether you're a scrapbooker or if you want to use them in journals or wherever you want to use them. So people are still coming in, but I think we're going to get rolling. We're going to get moving on, and I'm going to start with some new spotlight stencils, and the reason I'm going to start with these is because these are something that you can use throughout really any of the projects that you're going to be making in your paper crafting. So we're gonna switch the camera. So my husband, producer Alan, is going to go ahead and switch the camera. And the very first card you're going to be looking at here, isn't that pretty? I love having little bits of glitter, and look at that sentiment. So fun. But what I want you to focus on is that heart. And I want you to take a look at all of that that beautiful kind of ombre color around that. Then I want you to take a look at this heart. And I want you to see kind of what you can do with the same heart. And then I want you to take a look at the square in the background here. Look at that square. So on this one we have color blended on the outside. Here we have a little bit of color blended on the outside of the heart. Here we filled in the square behind there. And then look at this one where we filled in a circle with color blending. We're doing that all with these new spotlight stencils. And here's two of them. Actually, let's go ahead and pull the camera back, Alan. Let me move these to the side. Here's two of the spotlight stencils. What is a spotlight? A spotlight means that you can create a focal point on your card. You can put flowers in there, like this one. You can put a sentiment in there. You can put little characters and critters. You can handwrite a note if you want to do a spotlight on the inside of one of your cards. And so the way that these work, first of all, I want to show you. We've got the square, we've got the circle, we have the rectangle, and then perfect for Valentine's Day, we have the heart. And all of them work the same, so I'm going to focus on one of them and show you how it works and what you do. Isn't it so pretty? So I'm going to pull this one out of here and give you kind of a quick overview of what to expect on each of these different shapes. In each of these, you're going to get two stencils. All right, so you're going to get the the positive, which is this heart here, as well as the negative. Let's go ahead and zoom in again, Alan. Now, if you look on this heart, let me see if I can get the camera to catch it. It's hard to, you know, sometimes in studio with the lighting. There you go. We've actually printed on there, or imprinted on there, the size of this heart. So this heart is 3 1/4 by 3 inches, all right? It fits absolutely perfectly inside its little, you know, space there. But if you notice here on the larger one, let me catch the light again. You'll see this better in your own space, but in here we've got all these lights everywhere. There it is. So LRDS Creative, Heart Spotlight. You see all of those different little, there it is, we caught it there. See all those different little, what do you call them? Alignment guides. Thank you, I was losing the word. Those are for different sized cards. So you've got this in here for different size squares. We've got them in there for different, you know, for A2 cards. If you're going to be working with an A2 card in, let's say, the portrait. Okay, let me see if I can catch it again. See how it fits just so perfectly there? Or if you want to be working in this direction, you're going to be able to align that with your alignment guides. What does it do? It makes sure that that shape is going to be centered on your card. So we make it easy for you to use, easy for you to center, to get that shape wherever you want it to be on your card. And then all you're going to do, really simply, is take a piece of cardstock like so. You're going to lay this down on your paper. I'm going to go ahead and just very quickly line up those alignment guides. All right, there we go. I have it lined up so that heart is perfectly positioned. And you're going to grab whatever your favorite color is. I've got one here. This is a Lipstick Jungle, beautiful pink. You're going to grab your blender brush and you're going to start inking. Okay, just like so. And when you're done inking, well, actually, let me do one. Might as well do it, right? What's it going to hurt? Oh, I just moved it. I would tape this down. I would tape down just a little bit. I'm going to start inking around in here. And you're going to see this come to life very, very quickly. Just like so. You can use multiple colors if you want and create kind of a, you know, rainbow effect. You know, take some time with it. You know, I don't know, maybe a minute or 30 seconds or whatever length of time you want. And then you get a beautiful heart just like so. If I do it in the opposite direction, let's say I work on the other side like this, and I go around it, that's where you're going to achieve this effect. All right, so that's why it's important to have both the positive and the negative. And you're going to be able to do that really easily on your cards, whether you're working with the heart or the circle. Remember the circle right here? The beautiful rectangle, which is right here. Isn't that gorgeous? Or the square. Where did my square go? Here's a square. You can see that square in the background. We actually propped up something on top of it, but so, so pretty. You can also use these, you know, multiples depending on the size of your project. If you want to have, let's say you're going to be working with a slimline card and you want to have 2 squares or 2 circles, or if you want to have a square, then a circle, then a square. I mean, you can really mix and match however you want. It's a fantastic starting point for your projects, gives you a really beautiful frame to work within, and like I said, just a really, really great focal point for whatever it is you want to feature. And this, again, is something that you can use endlessly, year after year after year, and achieve all kinds of beautiful different looks. This is one where we just stenciled a tiny little bit outside of that heart, add a sentiment. You want to mass produce cards like this? I mean, each one of these is going to take you probably a minute to do. How quick and beautiful to do something like that. So, okay, so that is our Spotlight stencils. Next, I want to move on and show you, oh, I just love these. I love silhouettes. I think they're just so gorgeous. So here's 2 examples of some beautiful silhouettes. I really wanted to have some easy floral stamping and dies as well in this collection. So easy flowers, you can stamp these in black so you get that silhouette look. If you want to stamp these in any color, rainbow of colors. One thing I'll encourage you to do, by the way, is if you go to our Instagram page, LDRS Creative, or if you look at our YouTube channel, you're going to find, or even our blog, all kinds of inspirational samples, tutorials, things like that, so that when you get your products home, we've got all kinds of step-throughs, video tutorials, how-to, on things you can do, things you can, to inspire you to get crafting. And you'll see on our Instagram page, I think we have it on YouTube, where we actually did use these stamps in a whole rainbow of colors. And this is what the stamp set looks like. You can create your own beautiful garden on a card in minutes. So this is the floral silhouette. There's 8 stamps in total. This is a 4x6 stamp set. On the back, we just kind of show you what they look like colored up. And if you want, you can stamp these in just one color. If you want to do multiple colors, where is the card that I just did? Here it is. Let me show you this one. I just did a live last night, a live YouTube last night. We do weekly classes, and I used this set in the background to create this background, that beautiful, looks like paper. And it was just 2 colors. I did pink for all the flowers, and then I did, the little stems, the leaves, in a beautiful green, and look how stunning that is. So, so pretty. But you can also do that in a rainbow of colors, so you get a whole bunch of different looks. Here is another one where we actually did just very monochromatic, just black and white and gray. Isn't that gorgeous? So, so pretty. Add a sentiment, done. Doesn't take any time at all. Here's a couple of cards where we actually kind of mixed and matched with the next set that I'm going to show you. So I'm going to move these floral silhouettes aside. I mean, this is, again, when I mentioned staple items, this is a set that you can use year after year after year. Mix and match it with other things in your crafting collection. Now, on this card here, mixed it in with the next set that I'm going to show you, and we did the same thing here too. See those little color splashes back there? That is done with the floral solid layering stamps. This again is another 4x6 stamp set. And we have 2 beautiful sentiments included in here as well. Nice, large, gorgeous fonts. But we show you on the back kind of what they look like once you layer them up. Now you can layer these pieces in really any way you want to layer them. You can layer them like we show you on the back here. You can see the different shapes because we've kind of did like some differences in the color, so you can see which one is used where. But you can really just play with this and create all kinds of different, looks to your flowers. And then, of course, we have this one right here, which is those little bursts of color, those little paint splatters. That's what that is right there. So you want to do easy paint splatters. Maybe you don't want to get the paintbrush out and have to, hit the paintbrush, that kind of thing where, you go like this and you make a mess all over the place. Use this for your paint splatters. That's going to be stunning whether you're working on cards, journaling, on scrapbooking, little mini albums, wherever it is you want to work or craft. You're going to be able to use that as well as the rest of this, and you get to pick and choose which leaves you want to have on these too. So look how pretty that is. Here we've combined the 2. So these were used together, but you can use them separately as well, however you want to do it. So, so fun. Different size cards. They work on really any kind of project you want to work with. Alrighty. Let us know if you have any questions about any of the products too. Linnea is going to be out there. She'll be answering questions, but we're also watching the questions. If there's something that, if you want to ask me a particular question, then just say, hey, Angie, and, and we're keeping an eye out. So they'll let me know if you have a question for me. Okay? Next up, we're going to talk about more flowers. Again, I really wanted flowers that were going to be staple items. I know I keep saying that, but I really just wanted a fantastic collection of things I could use from year after year. This one we're featuring something that we call thankful flowers, as well as this sentiment back here. Keep an eye on that one. Remember that. You're going to see another one, and I'm going to tell you about it a little bit later. That's kind of a sneak peek coming attractions. But right now we're focusing on these beautiful flowers. And then here we have another card with, again, the beautiful flowers. And then look at that background. That's not pattern paper. That was created, again, in one of my YouTube classes that I do on Thursday nights. I created that card. And I did it with this set right here. So if you want to see how that one's made, check out the video. But here we go. Thank you flowers, 12 stamps in total. Here you can see what they look like in color. But this one here, like on this stamp right here, there's 4 flowers. So you stamp this one time, you get all those flowers. And then your next layer, right? Because that's going to be this, the detail in there. Then you're going to get your next layer, which is right here. That's going to do your centers. And then here, that's going to do the very, very teeny tiny little black centers that you see in there. Okay? You can use whatever combos you want. And then when you're going to cut with the dies, here's the coordinating dies. This die right here is going to cut all 4 of those flowers out in one shot, one time. You're going to do the same thing with the leaves right here. There's your leaves. There is the stamp, I'm sorry, the die that's going to cut out all of those leaves. You're going to be able to layer, you know, the little detail on the leaves right there. We've got a beautiful little border down here. If you want to use it, for example, like this. Look how pretty that is. We've done it in black, and then we kind of offset it a little bit with a kind of a nice bright golden yellow. So, so pretty. If you're wondering about that background right there, that was done with this stamp set right here, or stamp right here. All right. Here we've got that thank you is right here. This is another nice combination. You have a solid circle, and then you have the one with the little wavy lines. You can use those to layer if you want to create backgrounds, or you could just use them individually. You can do a whole background of just all different colored circles, or just all different, you know, like little wavy lines, and create beautiful patterns in the background. So again, it's a really versatile, really functional, easy to use set of stamps and dies. And I think you can see with these 3 cards here, you can do so many different things. Also going to be fantastic on different types of projects that you might like to do, whether it's card making or scrapbooking, journaling, whatever it be that you love to do. So look how pretty. I just love them. I think they're so gorgeous. I love the details in these flowers. They're really simplistic, but they're just so beautiful, and you can do all different colors, and you can do them really quickly because you get to cut them. You stamp them like all at once, and then you die cut them all at once, so it just takes moments to get it done. Lots of fun. I love fast crafting too. Next up, we've got flower doodles. One of the I think the favorites in our product line is our stamp, stencil, and die sets, where you get a stamp set, like the flower doodles here. This is 3 stamps, and I'm going to explain that to you in a moment. So you get a stamp set, you get a die set. These are all sold separately. And then you also get a set of layering stencils. We have several sets like these. They're so easy and fun to use. The way that it works is, in your stamps, you get 3 stamps here. It looks like you get a lot of stamps, but this one right here is one big stamp with all of these floral images in here. So you get 6 floral images here, plus you're going to get the 2 really sweet sentiments. And we're having fun with sentiments recently too. I mean, I always have fun with sentiments, but I'm having a lot of fun mixing different fonts, and especially these beautiful kind of handwritten fonts. I just love them. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to use this stamp all your flowers out. You can color them with markers or pencils, however you want to color them. If you want to use your stencils to color them, you're going to use all 4 of these stencils. We show you on the back, okay, how the stencils work. But I'm going to talk about these for a moment because I've mentioned alignment guides before. Let me see if I can get this out of here real quick. This is why you don't want to put hand lotion on your hands just before you start playing with product. Okay, so here are the 4 stencils. And we have alignment guides on here. We mentioned the alignment guides on the back. This is your very first one. All right, so your very first stencil is not going to have alignment guides. Let me see if I can catch the light. There we go. But in the bottom corner, you're going to see that they're numbered. So this is 1A. The first one doesn't have alignment guides. You are free to start stenciling this anywhere on the page that you want. You don't have to be in the bottom corner or anything like that. Anywhere you want to stencil. Somebody's saying, can it be used? Can you use the die in the stencil only? Absolutely, you can. let me get through this. Let me explain. So here's 1A. By the time you get to 1B, let's see if I can catch it. There you go. 1B in the corner. Do you see those lines around the cutout? Those lines are your alignment guides. Those alignment guides are going to fit what you just stenciled in stencil 1A. So when I stencil 1A, I'm going to lay over whatever I just stenciled with 1B, and I'm going to match those alignment guides to what I just stenciled. So you don't have to worry about where you started stenciling. You're going to have your alignment guides on the stencil always. So anywhere on the page, you're going to be able to line up, and it's really easy. So you're going to get through your stencils, 1A, 1B, 2A. Here's 2A. All right, there's your alignment guides. And then here we go. This is 2B. There's your alignment guides. You can lay those over what you just stamped, and it's going to be perfect. If you don't have the stamps, just go ahead and stencil. It's still going to lay out perfectly because they're perfectly laid out on the stencils. Either way, you're going to use this die right here to cut all of those flowers out, and it's going to be cut into 6 individual pieces. Okay? See how it lays over it just like that? You're going to get 6 individual pieces, and then you can just take them and lay them out however you want, in whatever arrangement you want. If you only want to use, a couple of them, do that. You get to customize how you want to arrange them. Now, we do have the 2 sentiments here in the stamp set. And on the dies, we also have the dies to cut out the sentiment, and it's also going to give you a shadow die in there too, so you can create a little shadow background or backdrop for your sentiments. So that's really fun too. Or if you just want to stamp your sentiment directly on your card, just like I did on this one, you can do that as well. So a lot of options, and I think because these are so incredibly versatile and you can use them so many different ways, it just makes them, I don't know, it just makes them really, really fun to use. And you know that you've gotten, you get a lot out of it when you work with these, there we go, when you work with these sets, because there's so many things that can happen with them. So lots of fun with those. I absolutely love these. And if you do like these, know that we do have several other sets with different types of flowers that work in the same way. So, ask Scrapbook Centrale about that as well. She may have them in stock. If not, she can always order them for you. But lots of fun with those. Those are always really popular. So we're going to go back to this card. Remember this one? Yay! Look how pretty that is. I actually have an envelope here that goes with it. Did it with our little envelope maker, but look how pretty that is. Isn't that gorgeous? Love the love, right? Here's another one. Do you like that love? I did a video on this one as well. So if you want to see how these are done, check out our YouTube. But you can do these with ease. This one, look at how beautiful that is with that. It gives it like a lacquered look. But the star of this is that big love word, as well as the always. Isn't that gorgeous? And then here, see those flowers? Those flowers that you see there, that I put on there, those are from the thank you flowers. Gorgeous, mix and match. We always love to mix and match our products together and show you how you can just really do so much with them. So this is done with these 2 sets right here. Look how pretty. Big words. We have lots of big words, and this time the big word is love because it is Valentine's, right? But, we love all year long, so why not create with love all year long? This is not just Valentine's Day. That's why we don't have the word Valentine's on there, right? So the stamp set, you're going to get 5 different stamps, the large love word, and then you'll get you and forever, always. All right, that's what they look like. So, so pretty. These you can use individually, and you can also use them together. So here's the 6 dies. You're going to get 2 dies for love. So you get the large love, plus you get the shadow die, and then you get dies for the word and you forever and always. So the stamp that you're going to be, or I'm sorry, the die that you're going to be using between these 2 is that shadow die. The word love, whether it's the die or the stamp, are the exact same size. So you just have to decide, do I want a stamp or do I want a die cut? Maybe it's both. But that shadow die can be used to cut out or to back, I should say, the love die or to back the stamp. So you have a lot of options with that too. So lots of fun with those, and this is what it looks like. So, so simple. On this one, literally just cut the love word out of pink, and using that shadow die, I think you can see it, I cut it out of vellum with the shadow die to kind of back it. Isn't that so, so pretty? And then on this one, actually cut out the word love, and then I used another of the word love behind it in black just to offset it and give you another little shadow. And then did the same thing with the word always. That's using this word here, the word always. Die cut it in white, die cut it in black, and just offset it a little bit. And then added some of those beautiful thankful flowers, and done! Done, 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 done. So, so pretty. I love these. I love large words. It's almost like you're screaming, I love you! I love you! So fun. Okay. Next up, oh my goodness. See how pretty? Look how pretty. Ah, love you. Love you. How about this one? Look how gorgeous. I, again, just love these. We're looking at these beautiful die-cut flowers. Of course, you can see all of the amazing texture and details in those. So, so pretty. Easy, easy, easy peasy to use. This is the Flower Doodle die set. Alan, do you want to pull back a little bit and see if we can get this whole die set in? See, it's too big to get in one in the other camera. 22 dies. This is a good size die set. You can see the size of the whole set, you know, based on the size of my hand. We get 22 dies in here, and then on the back we kind of show you these little equations, you know, how you make this flower. You're going to layer up those 3 pieces right there to make this flower. You're going to layer up those 3 pieces there to make this flower, and so on. Anything that's layered, we're showing you they layer, and then here, you know, you've got the flower. That's the layering here makes the flower, and then you just add the little green leafy part. That one happens to be right here. So we have the little green leafy parts you don't necessarily layer, but they have their own detail and texture in there. And then we give you a little sample of what you can do with it. So, so pretty. These are literally doodle flowers. These are not, it's not a real flower of any kind. They're just little doodle flowers. So you can mix and match and play and layer to your heart's content, whatever colors you want to do and however you want to mix them up together, and you can create stunning, stunning designs. Aren't those so pretty? Sneak peek coming attractions. Love you. Look at the frame. Look at that frame. Alan, you want to zoom in? See that frame? Isn't it so, so pretty? Look at the detail on that. We're going to get to that in a moment. Even a little, so happy for you. So that is the doodle flowers. We have a lot of layering die sets. This is the newest one, and I love this because you can just create whatever flowers you want. Here's another card that shows off that beautiful doodle flower. But this one, I want to show you that background, is a really fun little dot-to-dot stencil. I love stencils that just really are simplistic but really cool and just really, really pack a punch. We wanted to have a lot of fun with a dot-to-dot stencil where the dots were just kind of a mishmash of different sizes and all over the place, like you just kind of threw confetti in the air and let it fall. So that's what this stencil does. It's just a single stencil, really easy to use. You can use this for backgrounds on your cards. If you're doing scrapbooking and you just want to put a little texture here and there, just pop that stencil down, stencil a little bit in this area, a little bit in that area, and just create lots of fun and texture in the background. It's a simple, simple stencil, but I think it is so sweet and so pretty. And look, we've created pattern paper really quickly. Create your own. You can do it in a whole mishmash of colors as well. If you want to take it and rotate, you know, stencil it once and then take it and rotate it and do it in another color. I mean, just have fun with it. And just about everything that I've shown you so far, you can layer over and mix with a beautiful dot-to-dot background. So fun. Who doesn't love polka dots? I mean, seriously, who doesn't love polka dots? Raise your hand if you don't love polka dots. I don't expect to see any hands raised. How do you not love them? They're just like happy. Okay, next up we have more layering stencils. I'm a nut about layering stencils. Absolutely love them. And this one is going to make some gorgeous gardenias for you. Look how pretty that is. This is the Gardenia layering stencil set. 4 stencils. They're going to work just like the other stencils that I showed you. We've got 4 stencils in here. They're going to layer up. They're all going to have their little numbers in the corner. They're going to have those wonderful alignment guides so that you can, start anywhere on your page and always be guaranteed that you're going to be able to line them up perfectly. These are 6 by 6. You can see when you look at this that it's going to stencil larger than an A2 card, and that's fine. We want it zoomed in. We want it to look like we got real close in the garden with the camera and took an absolutely beautiful shot. And I love how this kind of has the look of stained glass. That was the intention with this set. I think it's so, so pretty. This is done with just, a few colors, really easy. Add a sentiment, done. 5-minute card. Love it. And it's gorgeous. If you're not a big fan of orange, how about pink? Look how pretty. Look how pretty that is. Gorgeous. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So that is the Gardenia layering stencils. I love these. Absolutely love them. Stunning for backgrounds, again, on your cards, scrapbook pages, journals, whatever it is you're working with, tags, anything you want to craft with. It's just so versatile. So how about, where is it? Well, all right, I'm going to go over a few things because I've got a whole bunch of dies coming up, so I'm going to explain these to you real quick. Here's what I want you to focus on. Look at that beautiful square, right? I showed you that in white a moment ago. That beautiful square. See that in white? The white one, let me catch it in the light. This lighting is like too bright. There we go. We've got a double stitch on the inside there. We have a scallop on the outside. When you look at the circle here, we've got that double stitch again, scallop on the outside. I want you to notice the word big hugs here, all right? Those are just letters that are, that's dimensional. Same with the word love you, right? Little bits and pieces. And I want you to notice this sentiment here. I'm pointing these out because I have a mix of things on cards and I want to show you all the different products. So, we love sentiments. I love dies that are sentiments. This word here, this sentiment here that says, I can't thank you enough. We came out with wonderful word dies last year, and everybody loves these. It's so much, love the fonts and everything. We decided to add a set of everyday word dies and all occasion word dies. And so this is what it looks like. So there's 2 dies for each one for the sentiment and one for that beautiful shadow that you can use to mat it. And when you mat it, it looks like this. So we have Nothing Compares to You. Okay, Sinead O'Connor fans. Nothing compares to you. Okay. Anything is possible. You're a whole lot of awesome, and I've got your back. Those are every day. You can use them at any time. Then we have All Occasions. There's 8 dies in each of these. 4 sentiments. All Occasions. I'm going to flip these over. I can't wait to celebrate you. So that's for a celebratory, situation. So happy for you. I love you more each day. All right, you can use that for birthdays, for Valentine's Day, any special occasion. I can't thank you enough. Because seriously, can you really thank somebody enough when they've done something wonderful for you? So you've seen a lot of these already on some of the projects that we've looked at, like this I Can't Thank You Enough and So Happy for You. We use them all over the place because you can. They're so easy to use. And again, staples in your craft stash. This is something you can use year after year after year. How about that circle? Let's touch upon the circle first. Okay, so the circle is this one right here. Again, another staple in your craft stash. Double stitch scallop circle. There's actually 2 dies in here. The first outer die cuts that beautiful double stitch with the scallop, but it doesn't cut the center out. When I pair it with that beautiful stitch die in the center, and I run those through at the same time, it's going to cut the center out like you see here. Or if I just want a stitch circle, I can use just the die in the center. Okay, lots of fun. That's what it looks like when it's cut. Now, you can use these on your own for the rest of your life. You can also pair them with the circle phrase dies. Each one of these has a word or a sentiment in the center, and it has a cutting blade on the outside. So if instead of using that second die right there on the inside there, instead of using that, if I want to use this one is like, for example, big hugs right here, okay? Where's the other card that has the big hugs, Ellen? Where'd it go? Ah, it's right here. This is the coordinating big hugs. This is what I cut out with that, okay? You cut out that word big hugs, and the letters for big and hugs will be cut out, and you're going to be left with that little backing piece, that circle. So that's like a cut once and use twice. So I can then take the letters that I use and I can put them on another card. So cut once, use twice. I can make 2 cards out of it, and this is what it can look like. Look how pretty that is. And then I have choices. If I don't want to use big hugs, I can use miss you or hello or with love. They're so, so pretty. I love this idea. So much fun. So that's the double stitch scallop circle. And if you want to coordinate with the circle phrase dies, you can. You can use these together. You can use them both separately. They don't have to be used together either. So again, options. We're always very careful to make sure you have a lot of options when you're working with our products. So that same idea that we have with the circles, you can do with the squares. Exactly the same thing. So here's the double stitch scallop square. It's going to work the same as the circle. All right. Look how pretty. You've got this. And then we have the square phrase dies as well. Dies? Did I just say dies?
You did.
The square phrase dies. Sometimes the playback in my head it's like a little lag time. So we have 4 of these. We have the love you, you've got this, you're the best, and hi friend. So in both of these sets, they're really sweet, really fun, generic sentiments in the sense that you can use them any time of year and for all kinds of occasions. So that is the square phrase dies. These are good size, each one of these. See my hand? These are probably, I think they're about 2.5 inches across. It's a good size. They're really nice. So again, they can be used together, they can be used separately, however you want to use them. And you're going to be able to do beautiful things like these. Look at this one. Look at how glittery that is. Isn't that stunning? So pretty. That looks like something like a Michael Jackson jacket from way back when. You know, he wears like those really glittery jackets. That's what it makes me think of. Okay. So let me see. I don't think that there's anything else to show you. I think that's everything. How pretty. How pretty. Look at these. Let's just kind of go through them again. Gorgeous, gorgeous cards. That's my favorite. I did that one last night. Love these. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. Any questions about any products? Look how stunning. With just this one collection, all of these different things you can create, one after another. They're just so fun. Look how pretty. Pretty. Where's the rest of the cards? Here we go. Look how gorgeous. Look at this. I mean, you talk about being in business. I think I've got all occasions covered here, just about. Look at that. So pretty. I think that's everything. Yay! Does anybody have any questions for me? Yeah, let's go ahead and switch. That was fun. Anybody have any questions about anything? I'm looking. I don't see anybody. I mean, I see everybody. I don't see any questions. All right, everybody, that is the entire line. You know, like I said, you know, there is a 10% discount that Scrapbook Centrale is offering for 24 hours on this entire collection. No matter what it is you want from the collection, you're going to be able to get 10% off for the next 24 hours. So that's a pretty doggone good deal. So thank you so much to Scrapbook Centrale for doing that for you guys. Yay! I would encourage you, when you get your products home, if you have any questions, if you just want some inspiration, take a look at our Instagram, take a look at our YouTube channel. We've got, even on our blog, we've got step-through blog tutorials, we've got videos. We try and put as much material out there for you guys just to inspire you and give you different ideas of how you can really stretch the products that you're using. Sometimes when we get products home, we go, oh boy, I saw that great idea, but I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do it. Well, we put a lot of materials together to really teach you guys how to do these things, and then you can just add your own spin on things, use different colors, arrange things a little bit differently, and just have fun and have just a wonderful creative time with it. So again, I encourage you to check out all of those things. When you get your products home, sit down, and we've given you a lot of jumping off places to create some beautiful, beautiful things. So anyway, thank you everybody for joining me here today. This has been so much fun. I love doing this with you. Thank you to Natalie and Scrapbook Centrale for inviting us here with you guys. I hope you guys are going to have a lot of fun with your new crafty goodies when you get them at home. I think that's all we have for today. So everybody have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Have a fantastic weekend. And we'll see you back here next time. Bye, everybody.